This video is brought to you by Big Idea Design. They make titanium pocket tools and pins, like the bit bar, which is a screwdriver with a pocket clip and bit storage in the handle, and the TPT and the TPT slide, which hold a standard utility knife blade. They also recently launched a titanium EDC wrench and offer pins like the TI Click, TI Arto EDC, and the TI Pocket Pro. To learn more about Big Idea Design, click the links in the description, and you can also use the coupon code BESTDAMNEDC for $5 off any purchase over $50. And if you do, it'll help support the show. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the Best Damn EDC, and it's time for another EDC Weekly. And if you're new here, since this is a community show, I start off every episode with announcements, just to keep you guys up to speed with everything that's going on, and most importantly, all the giveaways that I have going on. And this week there are a ton to get through because I've been away and I had to just kind of sit down this week and spend a lot of time doing a bunch of housekeeping. So if you don't want to know whether you won or not, just skip ahead to this time mark right here. But a few weeks ago, I announced that I was giving away an Olight M1T Raider because they were doing a flash sale. They sent me a couple of them. I've already got one, so I decided to give one away. I said comment down below saying something about your favorite flashlight. I can't remember exactly what that was, but the winner that I selected for that was Rios with this comment right here. Congrats. I've already contacted him. And we'll get that sent out tomorrow, actually, today when you're watching this on Friday. Next up, in my personal EDC update video, I said I was giving away a magnetic quick release from Urban Carvers. I said choose a number between 0 and 1000. The number that I randomly selected was 102, and the actual number that was guessed was 103. That was guessed by Jonathan L. with this comment right here. I will be in touch and get your stuff in the mail. Next up is the giveaways from last week. We had the ARC Company Rambler. The green one was the one that I was giving away with the EDC Weekly from last week. I said comment down below with what you would put in your ARC Company Rambler. And Jarryd Wearmouth commented this right here and won. I selected this one randomly. Congrats, Jarryd. I've already been in touch with you. I'll get that in the mail as well. For the black ARC Company Rambler, which was from the ARC Company feature, I said choose a number between 1000 and 2000. The number selected was 1,769, and Jarryd Rogers with this comment right here guessed 1,768. So another that's just one number off. So congratulations, I've already been in touch. I will get that in the mail to you. And finally, the April EDC Weekly giveaway winner. If you aren't familiar with how I do that, I take every single person that submitted to the EDC Weekly, and then anybody who was featured here on the video or on Instagram got an additional entry. I put those into a random name picker and selected a winner. The winner was Straight Toyota with this submission right here. Congratulations. I will be in touch. That's all the giveaways. A ton of stuff up front. Like I said, sorry, but there are some really cool videos coming up very soon. I'm very pumped to get to those. But just as a reminder, next week there will be an EDC Weekly, but Friday next week, I'm leaving for Blade Show. That happens June 7th through 9th. If you are there, be sure to shout me out. Just if you see me in person, just say my name or come up to me, say hello. But also if you're there, just ping me in the Discord or something. I'd love to meet you, love to talk, give you a sticker, whatever. So if you see me at Blade Show, just say hello. I don't bite, usually. That's it. I know there's a ton of announcements this week. This week's episode, there was no theme. I just went through and picked some submissions. There were a lot of submissions that I wanted to include, but just for time's sake, I selected 5. So these are 5 just badass carries from the submissions this month. So with all that said, let's do the damn thing. This week I have another giveaway for you. This time it is the Olight M1T Raider Plus. Olight sent me a second one of those. I'm going to give it away here on the channel. All you have to do is comment down below. Choose a number between 4,000 and 5,000. I will randomly select a number. Whoever guesses that number correctly first or gets the closest first wins. So, happy guessing. Here we are. The first submission this week comes from Douglas Damaceno. And this one jumped out because of the colors, man. Obviously, the leather, he does have a wooden background. I think that's actually fake wood. It looks kind of similar to my old desk that I used for videos here, but the leather just popped out at me. Just look at that. It's nice, orange, patinaed, and they come from companies that I truly appreciate, support myself, companies that I've bought from and love. But first up, we have Apple AirPods in the top left of the photo. He keeps those in a generic leather Amazon case. Below that is his phone of choice, which is also from Apple. It's the iPhone XS Max. He keeps that in an Apple leather case in saddle brown. Beside that is his watch, which is the Apple Watch Series 4, and attached to that is a Popov leather watch band. His wallet of choice is the Hitch and Timber Trucker's Hitch, and that is in the Autumn Harvest color. Below that is the Pocket Hank's Southwest 2.0 Hank, and on top of that is his knife of choice and pen of choice. That is the Spyderco Tenacious in all black and the blacked out Fisher Space Pen Bullet. He also carries an Olight S1R Baton 2 as his flashlight in the top right of the photo. And next to that is the Travax Keaton clip Attached to that is a Tile Pro, as well as a Nitei's doohickey and a Gerber dime in the bottom right of the photo. Douglas says, I use all of these items on a daily basis, but some do see more use than others. The Trucker Hitch wallet is perfect for me due to being a salesman and always jotting down notes for customers. Prior to using this wallet, I was always having to struggle to find a post-it note or some scrap piece of paper. The Olight I use on the daily for various reasons, but always when letting my German Shepherd out at night, as our backyard is not fenced. I love all of this gear, and much of it was discovered through watching the EDC weekly videos on the channel. I love the content and look forward to each and every episode. Keep up the awesome work. Douglas is also looking for some help. He says, I have 2 Spyderco Tenacious knives. The black was the first I originally purchased, but I thought I lost it during my last move, so when I found the channel and my interest in expanding my EDC occurred, I purchased a new one, which was the brown, and now I have 2. The knife is something I'd like to eventually replace with a good but budget-friendly sub $100 knife with wood, copper, or brass scales, something that will develop a patina and fit the leather theme I am going for. That's a broad spectrum. There are a ton of great knives under $100, and you can get great steels. You can get D2 steel. There are actually some S35 VN knives under $100. The heat treat is the questionable part on those, but there are a lot of great budget knives. I'm not sure off the top of my head of a wooden handled knife. The closest thing that I can think of, and it's actually over $100, is the the North Fork from Benchmade. That is a wood handled knife, or at least a stabilized wood handle knife. But I would look, if you want something that would fit this, I would look for something from Great Eastern Cutlery, or something very similar to Great Eastern Cutlery with a traditional. I think that would fit this really, really well. That's just my opinion, and I'm on a slip joint kick right now, and I love wood handled knives, so that's just my suggestion. I don't know of anything with brass or copper scales that's going to be under $100. There are knives that you can purchase scales for, but those scales are going to be like $40 to $60. So if you have a knife that's 40 bucks and those scales are 60, you're at that $100 price point, but most sub $40 knives don't have aftermarket scales. But you could actually get copper scales for your Tenacious. Flightanium has copper scales for the Tenacious, so that is also an option. If you like that knife and you want to keep that knife, you can just buy scales and not have to buy a whole new knife. Anyway, I love this carry. I love all of these things. Popov, I've been supporting them for years. Hitch and Timber, as you guys know, I love Hitch and Timber. And now Travex. I carry a Travex wallet a lot of the time. I'm excited to try that Travex Link that's coming. I don't know when they're coming, but I think the pre-order is still open. It may be closed now. I don't know. But all of those companies are just phenomenal. I love supporting them, and of course Olight. But if you use my coupon code CARRYON at Olight or with Travex, you get 10% off. So just throwing that in there. If you want to support what I'm doing and get money off, carry on with Olight on their official store or Travex. Anyway, thank you for submitting, Douglas. You have an awesome carry. Congrats on putting this together, because that's really, really nice. And you now have a second entry into the May giveaway. The next submission comes from AnthonyAwaken, which is actually his Instagram handle as well. And he is a photographer slash marketer in the outdoor industry, and it shows. I checked out his Instagram profile. I actually followed him back because his stuff is killer. He's really good at what he does. But first up, we have the Basic Wells Lamont gloves. Below that is the Gerber fastball knife. He also has the Exotac Rip Spool, which I'm not entirely sure what that is. His flashlight of choice next to that is the Streamlight MicroStream USB in Coyote Brown. He also carries everything in the recycled Firefighter Pocket Caddy, and attached to that on the side in the elastic loop is the Polka pin in black. And in the bottom of the photo is the Helicon Tex Possum, which it looks like a sling or a fanny pack. Anyway, Anthony says, I'm a photographer and marketer within the outdoor industry. I work with a lot of awesome brands throughout the year, so my EDC is always changing based on what gear I'm working with. From this picture, I work with Exotac and Recycled Firefighter. Overall, I'm really stoked on how this EDC has come together. The items in the center of this image are carried in my pockets. They're lightweight, high quality, and serve as very useful tools throughout the day, cutting, repairs, making quick notes, illumination, etc. The Helicon Tex Possum Pack is tossed in and out of my car on a daily basis and serves as my catch-all bag for emergency or daily gear. I found that this size bag allows me to carry a ton of stuff, but is still small enough that it's not a burden to lug around. It contains my gloves, battery bank, cordage, fire starting gear, medicine, notebook, first aid supplies, and a few other things. Kind of a catch-all kit, to be honest. Not pictured are my keys on a Recycled Firefighter keychain clip, Recycled Firefighter Sergeant Slim wallet, iPhone 8 in a moment case, and a standard cotton bandana. So really cool. I'd actually like to talk to you a little more about what you do within the outdoor industry, because, you know, just like-minded people talking, collaborating, bouncing ideas off each other. But this is an awesome carry. I checked your profile. There are a ton of awesome carries and gear pictures in there, and I like your vibe, man. I like the edit on this. I've edited this one a little bit more, but the original edit on your stuff is just great. And that's one area where I struggle is editing. So hit me up sometime, DM me on Instagram, and we'll talk. Anyway, thank you for sharing this picture and submitting to the show, and you now have a second entry into the May giveaway. This next submission comes from Samuel Sepeda, and this is one of those that I love the picture, but there's no description, and it just kind of kills me because I want to know more. Tell me more. Tell me the story, why you carry this stuff. If there's a story behind the pen or the knife or whatever it may be, tell me. That's the stuff that I look for when I'm doing this show is the story behind it, why you chose this, why this works for you, things like that. Anyway, first up, the fixed blade in the center of the photo under everything is the Red Shed Knives fixed blade. That is 1095 steel with a micarta handle, and he said that is a 1-of-1 knife, so it's a handmade custom knife. On top of that is the Great Eastern Cutlery number 14 Cripple Creek in brown micarta. His flashlight of choice is the Olight i3E EOS in copper, and in the top left of the photo is a pin from Todd the Maker that's in copper, aluminum, and titanium. So all three of those materials in that pin, and then beneath everything is the PD Hanks handkerchief. I don't know what style. All Samuel says is, I use all of my items for day-to-day tasks. My knife is my most used tool, so I love my knives. That's it. That's all he's got to say. Nothing about maybe some Native American heritage here, because that knife and that handkerchief, very Native American inspired. I don't know. I just want to know more from you guys. Some of you guys go crazy and write like a 3,000 word description, and some of you guys write like one sentence that just says, this is what I carry, which is kind of obvious, I guess. Anyway, I love this. I love that knife. I love that rock pattern on the back of the blade. And this knife, the fixed blade, has kind of that sheepdog blade to it, and I love the look of that fixed blade. And I'm still on the fence about carrying a fixed blade every day, because technically in North Carolina it's illegal to conceal a fixed blade, so I'd have to have it exposed. It'd have to be on like a belt where it's open and not covered by my shirt. Still very much on the fence about a fixed blade. I think they'd be convenient and cool. There are a lot of fixed blades that I really like, but just doesn't work for me. But also, Great Eastern Cutlery. I have 2 Great Eastern Cutlery knives now. Thank you to Oliver, Oliver.com in the Discord and on Instagram. He sent me 2 Great Eastern Cutlery knives, and I freaking love them. They are so nice, and it just goes to show how much more effort was put into each knife over something like the Benchmade Proper, which is one of my favorite knives of all time. I love the Benchmade Proper. But the Great Eastern Cutlery, you can just tell how much springier they are, how much tighter they are. They're just awesome. So anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you, Samuel, for submitting. You now have a second entry into the May giveaway. The fourth submission this week comes from TUNG View. I don't know how it's pronounced. This is just a great carry. We don't typically see a ton of hand dumps in the show, and I'm thinking maybe next month I'll do a hand dump special. So the theme of the week will be hand dumps. So that'll give you maybe a little better chances to get featured in the show by, narrowing it down to people who actually submit with hand dumps. First up in the left of the photo is his knife of choice. That is the Leatherman Crater. Don't see too many of those. He also carries a Leatherman Style CS as his multi-tool of choice. And the flashlight next to that is the Lumentop Tool AA 2.0. His watch of choice is a G-Shock GWM-5610. And then finally in the right of the photo is the copper bracelet from Saigon Armory. Tung says, hi, this is my budget-friendly EDC. I'm currently a fresh uni graduate from Vietnam. Been seeing your mods and EDC stuff, and just now can complete mine with my new job. Planning on making a leather pocket organizer for the CS and the Light. The bracelet was a gift from my girlfriend. It won't leave home without it. The G-Shock with an auto light is a savior since I spend a lot of time riding a motorbike at night. Style CS helps me with daily tasks like opening boxes and tightening screws. I bought the Crater for occasional trekking trips. But it's really good to see budget gear. I've not really seen the dedicated Leatherman knives too much, which I think will probably change in the next few months because they've got their, what is the series? I can't remember. Free K series. So the P is the multi-tool, K I think is the knife line where there are no pliers. They're multi-tools without pliers, but I imagine we'll see more Leatherman stuff starting. I think those are coming out next month or July. I can't remember. But again, thank you. I love seeing budget carries. People always complain that they don't get featured in the show because their stuff isn't high-end or nice enough, and it's not true. Maybe it's time for another budget EDC Weekly. Either way, thank you for submitting, Tung. You now have a second entry into the May giveaway. The fifth and final submission this week comes from, I'm gonna try to get this right. I looked this up before. Vojislav Hlad, I think is his name. You can find him on Instagram at edc_gear.ig. And I actually featured this over on the Instagram earlier this week. And this carry is not exactly super high-end. Actually, I don't even know that this is a total 180 from the budget carry. Looking at this a little closer, you've got a rake knife, a key smart. I don't know the price of the Picaroon tools, but this is a fairly moderately priced carry, but it looks like a high-end carry. And it got me, actually. I was thinking that this was a high-end carry. I didn't even pay enough attention to notice that some of this stuff is actually budget gear. Regardless, it looks great. And first up, in the far left of the photo, is the Spinnaker wreck. I'm not exactly sure which model, but I think this is from the new series, the one that I talked about in video, but this is the blue version of that. Next to that is the Rake P801SF for his knife, and next to that is the Picaroon Tools Plank Pry Bar. At the top of the photo is the Keysmart Rugged in titanium, which is actually what I use, and in the middle of the photo is the Victorinox Swiss Army Spartan. He says this was a custom version for like a company promotion, that he actually sanded the writing off the body or the scales. And then finally, in the far right of the photo is his Zippo in matte black. And Vojislav says, I switch out the gear very often and I find myself gravitating to this particular setup lately. The Keysmart in titanium is the best thing ever. I hope they anodize it in the future. The rake knife is awesome for the price. The wreck is an awesome watch for everyone who likes the patina, and it goes well with stone-washed gear. Cheers to everyone watching. I love the wreck. I've still yet to find a strap to wear on my own wreck, but this is a really neat carry. It's pieced together well, matches. The only thing is the Zippo. It'd be really cool to see that in like a blue anodized or stone-washed, which they do have stone-washed. Anyway, this is really nice. It goes to show that you don't have to buy truly expensive gear to have one of these really nice looking carries. Anyway, thank you, Vojislav. I guess I might be slaughtering that every single time, but thank you for submitting. You now have a second entry into the May giveaway. And finally, because I took some time off this month and I didn't actually feature nearly as many people as I normally would, I'm going to roll some honorable mentions now. Those are just the ones that I felt were cool, and I hated that I didn't actually get to include in the show. So these are honorable mentions for May. If you are included in this at all, you do still get an additional entry. And before we roll those honorable mentions, I just want to say, next month we're back on track for everything. Like, everything's back on schedule. We're going back to just the regular schedule, Friday shows and EDC weekly, and that means that I need you guys to submit. So I'm still doing the monthly giveaways, which is a Hitch and Timber card caddy, a Big Idea Design TPT, a Rovivon Aurora flashlight, a Yellow Birch Outfitters pocket organizer, Keysmart Rugged, and a Griffin pocket tool. So those 6 things are up for grabs for one winner every single month, and all you have to do to enter is just go to edcw.co and submit your EDC. Roll the honorable mentions. That is going to do it for this episode. If you found it helpful and you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below and subscribe to see more stuff like this in the future, and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I upload new videos. If you want to support what I'm doing here, everything you saw in this video will be linked down below. If you click through those links, those are affiliate links, and I get a little bit of a kickback from your purchase. So if you want to support, that's just one of the best ways to do it. You can also go to patreon.com/BestDamnEDC and support there. Also follow us around the web. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at BestDamnEDC. You can find me, Taylor Martin, on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And until next time, carry on.